Hey, how's it going?
Very good. How's it going? How are you?
I'm well. Let me change my name here. Sorry.
The city of New York, Boricua from the Bronx.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, huh? Who's taking
Yeah,
pictures? Is that your film company name?
yes. Yeah, correct.
Awesome.
So we have a new production company, that's our name, and there we go. Good. We're still kind of switching all of our stuff over. So sometimes I log in and I forget that it's not me.
That's cool. I figured that must be the business name, you know?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Yo, listen, man, not for nothing, bro. But the pictures don't do you justice, man. You're a good looking dude. Yo, holy shit, man.
I appreciate you, brother. Ditto.
I was trying to grow out my hair, man. I was trying to
That's
grow it out and do some like cool stuff with it. And my
yeah.
wife is like, dude, just stop. Just let it go. I was like, come on, babe. There's still an opportunity for me to Brad Pitt this thing. And I just accepted reality, man. My hair's gotten it's gotten too thin. You know what my son said, dude? My son
What?
said I look like Smeagol.
Smeagol. Oh,
That's
no.
harsh, man.
That's roasting. I
Oh,
don't know, man. Say, you look good to me, brother.
well,
That's
I
hilarious.
appreciate it, man. I cut it. I got my fade back. I said, you know what? I'm going back to the military style. And
Yes,
you know what? I did fine in the military with my little buzz cut. This is what we're doing because,
yeah.
it ain't happening, man. Please go ahead and introduce yourself before we kind of continue. And my stupid camera, this is supposed to be a high-end fancy camera. It keeps on like blurring me in and out. What the hell is it focusing on? Like, I
No
don't.
worries, man. No worries. That's funny. I will. And by the way, thank you for your service. I didn't know you were in the military. That's awesome.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I did 8 years in the Air Force, and we'll talk about that because I saw your pops was a SEAL. Like, I got to hear about that, man. Closest I've come is Jocko.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure. Yeah, well, again, thank you. But yeah, no, introduction. Oh man, what's the fast intro? My name's Josh.
You can
No,
give
man,
us the long one, man. We got time.
I love it. I love it. Well, man, the kind of compact life story, I guess. Like I said, grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia. As you just mentioned, dad was a SEAL, so grew up in the military community, doing a lot of sports. Went to Virginia Commonwealth University, where I was studying Homeland Security and criminal justice for a long time.
Wow.
And yeah, man, was just like much too serious with my life. I've kind of told a little bit of this before, but for the most part, I had a really good friend named Adam, and he was always just chilling, man. He was always so nonchalant. I was like, dude, why are you always so happy? Because I was always sizing everybody up. And he was like, man, he's like, honestly, I think it's the theater. So I
Mm.
just took one theater class and ultimately fell in love with it. Never looked back. I had a great theater coach slash mentor there at VCU, and he ended up kind of stewarding me towards a local agent, some local auditions. It was actually a Pizza Hut audition. I was like, the calling card. Uh, it's like of all the things. But yeah, man, anyways, the introduction, did that, ended up moving out to Los Angeles, where I've lived for the last 10 years. I just recently moved here to Nashville, where I'm at now.
Okay.
And acting, producing, and writing ever since. And so far, so good, my friend.
Cool, cool. You neglected one piece of information, your name.
Oh, my name. I thought I said it in the beginning. I forgot when we were recording. I
No,
forgot.
no worries,
Josh
no worries.
Plasse.
So that's how you pronounce it, Plasse? Because I wasn't
Plasse.
sure. I was
Yeah,
like, I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
saying Place. Am I going French with it? Like, what's?
I love
You
that. It is technically French Canadian, but we say Plassy, classy, Plassy.
dig it, dig it. Cool, cool. Where are you? Like this looks, you look like you're kind of like chilling in like in something that I consider vacation, bro. Like that's your.
Right? Dude, this is my living room. This is our
Oh wow.
it's a fun little Zoom background. Sometimes it's distracting, so I do the background, but man, this is Nashville. We
Oh
actually
shit, bro. I thought that background was real, bro.
it is real. No, it
Oh
is
wait.
real. It's
Oh, it
real.
is.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
shit. I thought you said it's a Zoom background. Oh
No, I
shit.
said sometimes I get them. This is my
Ah.
place. This is my boy Teddy. My other
Oh,
one's
there you go.
um, No, it's this is my real place. I was gonna say sometimes it's distracting. Everyone's like, "Where
Oh,
you at?"
okay.
I just blur it out. But no, this is my house here in Nashville.
Oh, wow. It's pretty nice, man.
I
Like, you
appreciate
know what I'm saying? It looks cozy and chill. So the theater chilled you out. Am I to
you.
gather?
Yeah. Theater chilled me out. I gotta give the house props to my wife though. If it were up to me, I'd have like a chair in here because I'm useless at decorating.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, man, for sure. We moved here. I love this place. We're about 10 minutes outside of downtown. How about yourself? Where are you at? New York City, I
Yeah, New York. I'm in Queens, Queens, New York.
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
of everywhere I've been, and I have to say, for at least for my age, I'm pretty well traveled. I've never been to New York, not once.
Wow. This
I
is
know.
this is one of the spots, man. LA and New York are the you got to come out here sometime, man. Like check it
Great.
out, there's lots to see, man. Hey, look me up. I don't really do the tourist stuff, so I'd actually probably be going to places that I haven't gone in ages, since
Yes.
I was a kid. Because the only time you go to like Statue of Liberty is when you're a kid in class. Hey,
Yeah.
there he is. He's up.
Ignore him. He's gonna be all over. No, that's cool, man. I will. I'll let you know. It's funny. I've worked now in at least 8 different states, and I've never, for some reason, just luck of the draw, I've never gone to New York. It's very strange.
Wow, they do a lot of filming. I remember seeing Blue Bloods out here and Law and Order. All those, like, they'll close off all the streets. You
Oh yeah.
can't park and stuff because they're filming and stuff. They've done stuff in like my neighbors' houses. So there's definitely stuff happening out here all the time. So yeah, man, maybe you hit one of those, man. Dude, what's it like growing up? Well, was your dad around? Like, what was it like growing up with a seal?
Good
Like,
question.
and
Good
how did
question.
it shape you? Because you mentioned the whole uptight thing, and then we're doing theater. Like break that down, man, because I can't imagine.
Yeah. It's a good question, man. It's also fortuitous and funny because I haven't seen my dad in years, probably 2 or 3 years, and I'm about to see him in 3 hours for the first time in years. So
Oh,
this is a very fortuitous interview.
mm,
But yeah, to answer your question in short, he was generally not to his fault, of course. He was just deployed. He was generally not around.
right, right.
But he was extremely helpful, extremely disciplined. I mean, I have many a great memory with him, and I just looked up to him, man. I remember really as a young kid looking up to him. He got me boxing at a really young age, and I played football. I played all the sports, ran cross country, swam, all that good stuff. And I think like the short answer is just mentality. He and I kind of had this concept of a highway when I was a very young man in sports, which I take with me to my acting, and just really overall competition is like if everybody else is legitimately driving 100 miles an hour, and at least in his mind, you got to drive 200 miles an hour at all the times if you want to
Mm,
catch up with anybody. Assume you're always behind, drive faster and catch up. And I just kind of took that ideology with me as a kid into all my sports, and I was able to excel in that, into my even after athletics, into my academics. And so having that kind of voice as a kid of like, oh, you're behind, drive 200 miles an hour because everybody else is already driving 100, just made me hungry, man. So I attest a lot of that to him. That hunger really helped me kind of fuel not just desires, but the actual tangible day to day. What am I going to do to achieve a given goal or set? And taking that principle into acting and into the arts has helped me a lot, because a lot of people who are extremely artistic, they might be really talented, but they don't really have an understanding of how to plot out a day or really set a goal and achieve it. You know what I mean?
mm.
So me growing up with him as my dad and growing up with like around sort of those ideologies, I think it really helped me not only mature, but also sort of understand how to tangibly set a goal and achieve it, as opposed to just have a concept of what you want. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because artists tend to usually just flow. Like your
Yes.
homeboy that you mentioned is probably like that. Just flow with the wind, and for some it works. I mean, a lot of people are successful and stuff, but you
For sure.
kind of, it sounds like you have more of that base of what we'd call, I don't know, like, I won't say corporate, but somebody who's going to have to work, right?
Yeah,
And that type of like these are the steps to succeed, to leadership, and then translate that over. So you kind of got the best of both,
I
because
appreciate
sometimes you're
that.
too laxed, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. For sure. I appreciate that. I also, and I agree, by the way, you're right. There is absolutely an element. Some people are just you know, they're artistic by nature. That's all they are. They're very chill, and sometimes their inability to plan is actually what makes them so free and such a kindred spirit. So that does lead to better performances at times. However, you know, everything's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Everything's a double-edged sword. They might be too lazy for this, that, or the other. And for me, even though I'm an artist first and acting is what I do for my career, you know, I'm also writing, I'm also producing. And for me, getting these different lanes, if I'm not really smart and if I'm not plotting things out correctly, like I was saying, not just for goals, but just in general, if I was lazy or just kind of meh, I don't think I would have the structure alone to do it. You know what I mean? Nevertheless, the actual drive that you got to do to get up every day. And as you saw, take the dogs out, get life done, do your thing, do the audition, get the writing done. So I attest a lot of that to my dad, man, for everything that he didn't have. A lot that he did was has really fueled me and sort of served as the backbone to my work ethic.
Well, yeah, that's great, man. It really, I watched Jocko's he has a leadership class on master class, and I
Yeah.
watched it, and like I'm trying to apply that, a lot. Like sometimes I fuck up, and
Mm-hmm.
my immediate response was to defend myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, this is my fault, or rather, you fucked up. Let's this, and I'm trying to put it on them. And now I'm like, hold up. Let's take extreme ownership. That's what he loves to say, extreme
But,
ownership. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry, I messed up.
wow.
I'll try to do better. What can I do better? Like I've been working on that,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that mindset. Because I didn't get much from the military myself in terms of like discipline. I mean, I was in the Air Force, so it wasn't like the most strict environment, but the military did instill upon me, do what you got to do. Like
Mm.
in boot camp, you have no choice. You're
Yeah.
doing these things that you hate, humiliating, you're being like belittled and screamed at, and you're kind of just like, all right, you know what, this sucks, but the quicker I get it done, the quicker I get out. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah. Yeah. That's
and
quick
and
wrap it up.
and that understanding that helped me with that.
I
you
like that.
know that
I
the
like that.
military did help me. So there's a lot of times where I'm in a, you're in a crap situation, and you're like, I could complain and delay this or just get it done. you know
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, man. Just get it done now. My buddy told me something cool about that. He had a tattoo of a water buffalo.
Mm.
And I had never really asked him about that. I was like, man, what's the tattoo about? Like, why you got a buffalo on your shoulder? Like, who has a buffalo? Like,
It's pretty
I see lions and wolves. Like, I got a buffalo. And he was like, dude, in the whole animal kingdom. And by the way, I don't know the validity of this fact, but it's everyone out there
Preface
out
it
there.
with,
Preface. Yeah.
yeah. That freaking guy from that Amazon show, he lied about buffaloes,
He
bro.
lied about buffaloes. I know the one about the buffaloes is true. But I don't know if it's the only one in the animal kingdom. But he claims, and the buffaloes is for sure true. They're the only animal in the whole animal kingdom that during a storm, they are intelligent enough that they actually run towards the eye of the hurricane. And to your point about just getting a problem done, they understand that the eye is actually the weakest start. And when animals run away from the storm in turn follows them. And
Mm.
so life just gets harder. And he was just making, the buffalo is
Mm.
a metaphor for his life of kind of what you said of just like, nah, I'm running to the storm. I'm going to get it done quickly because that's going to nip this in the bud the fastest and the most effectively. I thought it was awesome. I was like,
That
dang,
is
that's
heavy, man. Where's
right.
this friend from Homeland, or
What's
just
that?
is he from the Homeland world that you were in, or from
No,
other
oh, you
stuff?
know what's funny? He's actually just a surfer.
Oh,
But,
what?
well, I shouldn't say just a surfer. He's a bad dude, but yes, like he's not. No, he wasn't in
He's
Homeland Security.
chill. He's chill. He's
Yeah,
not some military type then. Because
yes, exactly, exactly.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, but
That
it's
I
cool. I like that though.
that's
I like.
interesting. Yeah. That's really interesting. That may give me a tattoo idea. You know?
It'll
Not,
start conversations, man.
yeah, well, maybe not the whole buffalo, but I could do the head. The head is kind of dope. You can do a dope like just regular line art of a buffalo head. But first I'm gonna research my facts.
Get the back straight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't take my word for it, man.
Yeah, we're gonna research these facts and make sure it's legit. Because that could serve to just help with mindset. I have a couple that are like indicating of balance,
Mm,
trying to remind me of balance, because I'm one of those like black or white,
mm,
and life is gray,
yeah.
and that finding balance. So like I'm either really fat or I'm ripped, you know,
Yeah.
and I need to find that middle place just to
Yeah.
be healthy, because neither of those two extremes is healthy,
No,
you
I
know.
know
Do,
for
do you are you naturally fit, or you train? Like what's your routine like with that stuff?
I do train hard. Yeah, I do train hard. I think I'm probably, obviously from the dad's genetic pool, I think I got lucky. But but yeah, no, I train pretty hard, man. I do a lot. I running was my main thing, running and boxing growing up, but I've actually fallen in love with MMA. You know who Michael Chandler is
I
by
feel like
chance?
I recognize the name. I've been out that world for a minute, but I kind of recognize the name. I'm pretty sure if I
Fair
were
enough.
to sit and dig in my head, I'd recognize the name.
Know that guy. He's about to fight Conor McGregor, but he owns a gym here
Yes.
in
Okay.
Nashville, and I train at that gym. I mean, every day, and I love it, man. I'm in love with it. There's nothing more humbling than going in and grappling with dudes who are twice your age who will mess you up every day. Keeps you grounded, man.
Oh, for sure. You want to be
So
humble? Go do some BJJ and see what happens. I actually fought in an MMA match back in like my early 30s.
wow,
I was like
nice.
in my 30s and I fought like a 21-year-old purple belt. I was a white belt. I
Oh
didn't know.
no.
I didn't know I was supposed to fight someone my level, and
Okay.
homeboy didn't show up. Now, this was some underground shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like some underground type of, so they're like, yo, we got this other cat. You're like 50 pounds heavier than him. You want to fight him? I was like, whatever. And they were like, they told me his name, and I was like, ah, shit. Because I knew who this guy was, Like, I knew, I was like, bro. And at that point, I had all my friends there. I had some family there. And I was like, I brought him out. I can't jump out of this thing. So, you
Ah,
know, yeah,
that's a bad day. That's a
I
bad
got, yeah, I got my ass whipped within a minute and 30 seconds, you
Yep.
know.
It's white and purple. It's too different.
There's no limit there. He was a wrestler, like collegiate
Oh,
high level
dude.
wrestler. So this dude was just way out of my,
Yeah.
you know. And I knew it walking in, and I was like, all right, I can't grapple with this guy. So I was trying to I was like, let's see if he bangs. And no,
Nope.
he shot in, took me down as expected, and then proceeded to like merge my face with the floor of the mat. You know,
Oh man, I'm
that's
sorry, dude.
yeah,
These graphics
it was
killing.
rough, man. And
At least
afterwards,
you did it.
I was talking shit, like I was still young, and I was still, and I was like, yeah, he didn't want to bang, man. Fuck him, he's scared, And afterwards, he was like, dude, I could bang with you, but why? Why
Yeah,
would
yeah.
I?
Why?
Why
I
would
agree.
I if I could just take you down and I know I could win? I'm trying to stay active. And I was like, yeah, you got a point.
Yeah, I agree.
you know,
Like, yeah, you're right.
you know, if you got a guaranteed win just taking me down and pummeling my face into a pulp, I can't blame you for it.
Do it. Yeah, yeah.
You
Dang. Well,
know,
good for you for getting in there, man. That's awesome.
I did that one fight and I was done.
That's
That
all
was
right.
it. I was like, you know what? This, it's not like I'm going to be a pro fighter.
Right.
It's not like I'm going to make a career out of this thing. I'm old as shit. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah,
hurts,
yeah.
like,
Hard hard on your body, man.
it
It's
kind of
hard.
hurts, So
Yeah.
I'm glad I mean, I enjoyed doing it, but I have a shit ton of injuries too. Like my fingers numb because of my neck. Like I'm all kinds of jacked up. So they don't even want me to do BJJ anymore, man. Like they
Oh
don't want me
man.
to do any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
God. Sorry,
it's kind
man.
of a
Yeah.
bummer,
Well,
but it is what it is.
for
I
sure.
still try to I teach Zumba,
There you go. There
so
you go. Just stay
that's
active.
always fun, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Dang.
t-
Wow. Okay.
tell me about your projects and your TV stuff that you've done. It's like 50, you've been on 50 shows. Did I read that right?
Um, 50 episodes, certainly. Probably more like 15, 20. No, probably like 20 different shows. Yeah.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
just probably actually, yeah, well over 50 episodes now. It's crazy. 32 of which are on the Baxters. But man, I've done a lot. I guess my favorite ones are easiest to talk about always. In terms of television alone, I had a really good time on iCarly, the new one. They did a reboot,
Oh, okay.
and I actually haven't done a ton of comedy in my life. I've done a little bit. I've got some decent comedic chops, but certainly not as good as the people on that show. So that was really fun, man. I got to do 4 episodes on that, and everybody was just super nice, super welcoming. And it's multi-camera comedy. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the differences, but it's huge. It's like really big. Everyone's yeah. It's like just not, it's not grounded. It's not real. It's not this. Like if we were, filming this, this is good acting. This is just living authentic truth. Comedy is like big. Everything's huge. So that was really different and challenging and hard. I've since gone on to book another comedy, so I actually really like it. But that was one of the more fun ones for me. I just
iCarly. That's that
yeah,
was a
yeah.
show that was around back in the old days, right? Like,
Yes,
not gonna
yes.
lie, dude, I didn't watch that one.
That's okay.
I don't
That's
think I'm the
okay.
market for iCarly. I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
you're you're not the target audience. Not the target audience there, buddy.
40-year-old Gen X guys are probably not who they're.
No, no, dude, it's so true. But it was cool, man. They had a 3-season reboot run here. So that was good. Man, I don't know, I've had a lot of fun, Grey's was fun, American Horror Story was fun. This show that I just did now, which obviously talk about most, the Baxters, which is on
Hmm,
Amazon now. I'm really the show is good, but I'm surprised how well it's doing. We were number 7 right now.
hmm.
So I'm quite happy about that. And man, that was just a lovely experience. Like everybody involved from the top down. We did 3 seasons, which took I mean dang near a year of filming, to be honest.
Or
So
three was a year, 3 seasons.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
that's not
Spread
so
out.
bad, right? I mean, all things considered, like imagine how long does it take for them to do like for us to get an update to like Game of Thrones back then? You have to wait at least a year, right? At
I know,
least.
for sure, for sure. And this is a much smaller budgeted show, obviously, than those. So it wasn't quite a full year, but close, and it was
Oh.
spread out a little bit. So you're right, it's not that bad, which was nice.
Hmm.
But you spend a lot of time, for better or worse, with the same people. And I guess my point is, man, on the Baxters, like from Ted McGinley, he was the lead of the show. Him and Roma Downey, spending 12 hours a day with these people every day, except for 2 days off, shooting and just talking. And you know how it is on set. It's like you hurry up and wait. You go and you get a
Hmm.
shot done, and you're just sitting there in the waiting room or the green room, or you're back at your trailer or whatever. But ultimately, I mean, man, you're sitting there like you and I are right now for at least
Oh.
8 hours of the day.
You
So
gotta like each other, right?
you gotta
Right?
like each
You
other,
gotta
man. Or you're
tolerate each other. You gotta,
yes,
I mean,
yes.
like if it's fun and you're with fun people that you like, I think you'll enjoy it. You'll actually be like chilling. But if you're like with people that you don't vibe with, that could be kind of rough, I would imagine. Oh,
Very. I'm thankful to have I haven't really had many bad experiences. They've primarily all been pretty good. And exceptional, in fact, for most, in terms relationally speaking. I've always really liked my co-stars and people I've acted with. Um, but yes, you're right. I've heard horror stories, man. Of like you're stuck with this person for 10 hours. You're just avoiding them at every turn of the set.
that
Like,
could be tough. I mean, I guess it's like that in any job.
that's
You
true.
know, it could be like if you got not cool people around you. I
Yeah.
encounter that as well. Even in the Zumba classes, you could encounter it. You know.
For sure.
So you got you well, there's a couple things I was thinking about.
Mhm.
What do you think what do you think happens for someone to be like an actor in shows and do things like that to all of a sudden reaching like a Brad Pitt or a Denzel? Like how does that happen? So like we're talking today and in 5 years you could have your hair down to here, and be doing a reboot of Interview with the Vampire. You know what I mean? You know, like
For sure, man, for sure. Yeah, that's a good question too. I'll say 2 things. One, times have changed a lot. So the answer to that question is different today than it was even 5 years ago. Post COVID, post the strike that lasted forever, and now with the emergence of these streamers over the last 5 6 years, man, it's just changed the industry entirely. We're inundated with so much content now, and there's so many actors worldwide. I mean, even auditions are different. Everything's self tape now, so you might be self taping against some dude in New Zealand who's a star in New Zealand, who's following, has 1 million followers. And if I'm casting a project and I tape, and my tape's real good, but so is his tape, and we've got a pretty similar vibe, but he's New Zealand, it's interesting.
accent.
million followers in the accent. Cool. Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, obviously, just a random example there, but it's changed the game a lot in terms of competition, in terms of what's going on. So the short answer is it's a lot harder to get to that Denzel Brad level. In fact, a lot of people think we just won't see that ever again, to be honest. I mean, there's guys on the trail to that, like Timothy Chalamet is really doing well right now and blowing up. But those blockbuster films that guys like that used to lead are few and far in between now with streamers. So it takes a huge hit show, and it takes really, really well respected big time festival type caliber films. It takes Oscar caliber films, Anatomy of a Fall, American Fiction, like films like that that are really well praised, that have, auteurs or future auteurs directing them. If you get in stuff like that and you crush it, you're a legit artist and a legit actor, your career will start blowing up. The same can be said of a major series, like a truly breathtaking series like True Detective season 1 or something, where everybody was like, "Oh my God, this is the best thing ever." Game of Thrones, as you mentioned earlier. If you get on something catastrophically large like that, you will start, you'll start blowing up as you will. But man, it's tough to answer your question. Like, to go from just a working actor, which is a miracle in its own, by the way, statistically
Yeah,
speaking,
do what you
to go
love,
from
you know.
exactly, amen, man, amen, and to go from that to that level nowadays, you definitely need one of those two things to happen. You need to be okay. He's in, you're gonna have a huge film that goes to Cannes or goes to Sundance or whatever, or be on a major series, and even that is kind of just the start. You got to
Yeah.
have that. It's got to get repetitive from there. Obviously, sign with the top house, and then it's just got to hit, man. Something's got to click. I just don't think we really have that nowadays. Even, the closest examples of that. I mean, Michael B. Jordan is huge. He's as big as it gets right now in
Right,
terms.
right.
But even that, like, would we consider him Denzel caliber actor? Like, no one would, and that's
Nah,
not a
they're
diss to
not
him,
on the, yeah, they're
right?
not on the same.
Of
I,
course. And he's huge. Michael's as big as it
yeah,
gets.
yeah.
Jacob Elordi is blowing up right now. He's huge and he's doing good work. But like, would we consider him a Brad Pitt? Like, it's we just don't really. It's just a different time, man. So in time, will they be as respected? Maybe. Do I think people like myself can get there? Maybe. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's just a different day and age. So in some ways, it really sucks, and in other ways, I like it because now, even though everyone wants to do it, when the rubber hits the road and you really come to this realization of like, oh, wow, it's not that easy to get famous. You have to actually be in it for the love of the art. And it does start weeding
Mm,
people out at a certain level. And we're
okay.
talking 1% here, 0.5% here. The dudes I'm telling you I'm auditioning against, it's like, you're, and not to say I'm 1% all, but once you get to that caliber of like, oh, these guys are all in the series regular pool, they're all working actors. Now people start realizing, oh man, this isn't what I signed up for. I don't really like acting. I just wanted to be famous. A lot of those people end up going home. And so the pool dwindles. So in some ways, I actually like it better because you can see who's for real in it for the art and who's not. But yeah, hopefully that answers the question. I think those two, you need the big respected movie, you need the big respected series. But even then, man,
Yeah, you're
like,
right. Because if even if as I'm thinking of like
yeah,
House of Dragon, Game
mhm,
of Thrones, like these shows were huge, right?
yes,
But if you think about any of the actors in that, right? Very few have gone on to do other stuff, and
yeah,
people even care. To be frank, like, to be honest about it, like
I,
I
I,
love game until the end. They really pissed me off at the end. I I was so angry with how they finished that show. But that
yeah.
aside, that butchering of this beautiful masterpiece
You and
that
Menace
they
America.
oh, bro, I was raging. I was so angry. That aside, I mean, Jon Snow, right? Kit Harington, I believe he's
Yep,
doing stuff, But
sure.
again, your point stands valid. They're doing series, they're doing films, but it's not the same as, and although now there's more opportunity, right? Now an idiot like me can do a podcast, and then all of a sudden, maybe I don't know, maybe I don't know, Jimmy Fallon likes me, and now I have a real opportunity doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know. There's more opportunities, you know.
Yes,
But like, to
I
your
agree.
point, it's hard to stand out and really become that, that like the
Yeah.
old days. you know?
It is, man. It really is. It's totally different. Like you said, more opportunity, more visibility, but that also creates more market competition. So it's
Mm.
just hard. It's just hard. You're blessed to have your own podcast that's successful. We're blessed to be working in this industry and working in acting. So I don't take any of it for granted. But yeah, man, like that's a perfect example. Kit Harington is as cool as it gets, man. John freaking Snow. Name me a character cooler than John. Oh, wait. And even him, in all respect, he's a great actor. Guy, it's like theater. He's
Oh, yeah.
like a legit actor. But again, to your point, if is he putting butts in seats like Brad Pitt or Denzel? No, no one is. Like if Brad Pitt has a new film come out, there is a massive generation of people who will go to it just because he is in it. The same can be said of Denzel. It can't
Mm.
really be said for anyone in my generation, and that's no knock on anybody. They're
Yeah,
all.
I agree. I've been the whole time you were telling me about that, I was trying to think if I could come up with any one person
I know.
that equates that today. And I was thinking the kid who plays Alex Rider. I don't even know his name. Love the show. You know what I'm saying? Like I love the show. It's a great show. I enjoy it.
Yep.
But I can't name him, like I just never learned his name. And what
Yep.
else? Like, the guy who plays in Warrior, which Warrior was a great show.
Yep.
Can't name him.
Yeah,
Like so it's
dude.
just not it isn't the same. Especially we stream so dude, before I came over here to sit down and talk, I was finishing Equalizer 3 for the second time.
Denzel.
You
Dude,
know
like
what
for sure. That's the thing. It doesn't matter what they're in. That Denzel can go do anything. If I see Denzel on a poster, I'm gonna watch the movie. This movie could be
you can't go wrong,
a
right?
pile of garbage, and I'm still gonna go watch it.
It's like,
Like
the movie was horrible, but Denzel was great.
exactly, but
You
it was
know?
great. And now because they've chosen projects wisely, you also sort of attribute their name to a certain value and caliber of project. So like I
Mm,
also feel pretty comfortable if like if I see Denzel in a picture, it's not gonna suck. Like he's not gonna go do garbage. He doesn't need to anymore. B, as an artist, like I can't name you a bad movie he's been in.
agreed.
Kind of the same for Brad Pitt. Maybe, some people think some of those Oceans movies and stuff, but like for the most part, I can't really name you a bad film he's been in either. Less so than the Denzel comparison, but you get the point. It's
Yeah.
like today, it's hard to see that today. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, yeah, we went down that road. That's and that's
Indeed.
reality. It's like that with everything. Music, I think the whole music world has changed.
Yep.
TV. I mean, look at Jake Paul. This dude's fighting Mike Tyson, bro. Bro, I grew up watching Mike Tyson. The guy was like a god to us, and this
Yeah.
guy who just did YouTube videos is I mean, I'm not hating on him. You know what I mean? Like I don't care for him, but I don't hate on him. I've actually listened
Yeah,
to his podcast and checked them out, and I was like, I kind of like this guy. He's entertaining, and stuff. He talks a lot of crap, but I think it's part of the shtick. You know what I mean?
for
Like
sure.
it's his, his little thing. I,
For sure.
they've done well. He's like the male Kardashian. You know what I mean? He's just
Yeah, man. I agree. I actually don't know enough about him either, to speak illy or well, but yeah, I mean, he's kind of a marketing genius, it seems like him and his
yeah.
brother. So hey, dude, hats off. And I do know a lot about boxing, and he started off trash, and now he's legit. I mean, he's got hands, and he's getting better every day, and he's biding his time well. And he's obviously cherry picked his opponents in that arena, but again, marketing genius. I think
Mm.
he's legit good. I think he's got a real shot at winning. Everybody's tossing him out. I'm like, bro, Tyson is 60 years old. I honestly, if I was a betting man, I think Jake Paul's going to win, which I hate to say out loud and on this
Wow,
interview.
that's a
Yep,
strong statement, man.
I know. It sucks. It's a strong
Wow.
statement. It
Well,
sucks.
coming from a boxer, I have to give that statement respect, right?
I mean,
You're
man,
somebody who
well,
knows the art. Hmm,
we'll see.
interesting.
We'll see
Oh
what
man.
happens, and we'll see how serious either of them take it. But if it's a for real fight, I mean, we saw Tyson go at it with Roy Jones, and again, Tyson is literally a goat. But also, age is a real thing. I mean, he's
What was
60
your
years.
perception of the fight with Roy Jones?
That all respect to the greatest boxer of all time. I respect and love you. If by some random reason he sees this, I got mad love for you, Tyson. My honest assessment was that they both looked extremely slow, and I think Jake Paul's going to give him problems. That's honestly what I think. And I
Do,
hope I'm wrong.
do you feel I felt like Tyson held back.
It
They
felt,
were
yeah, it felt like they both did, but did they? I
hmm.
don't know. We're used to seeing prime Mike Tyson, one of the most ferocious, best fighters of all time, and it's just like,
Well,
man,
and
age.
like what I mean is like there were a few times where I thought he hurt this guy and he could have finished him, and he
Mm,
didn't.
mm,
I think intentionally he didn't. And
mm.
I think they have rules about knockouts and all that stuff. And I wanted to see if you perceived that, because when I watched it, I was like, I feel like he could have ended it right there if he really wanted to. And I
Yeah,
felt like Tyson won it, in my opinion.
yeah.
Like I felt like Tyson won that. And there were a couple times where you saw him like he had the guy, and I was like, finish it. And he didn't. And you know,
For sure. Hard to say, man. I know, hard to say. I honestly don't have an opinion. It's hard to say. And that's kind of how I feel about this fight too. Like, I don't know what's in that contract. No one knows
right,
what's in
right.
that
They
contract.
claim it's gonna be legit, but
Right. We
you
have
know,
no idea. And that's not again, it's just like, man, first Jake Paul has been boxing now with some of the best trainers in the world, extremely seriously, presumably 3 to 4 times a day for dang near 7 years now. Has he fought great competition or whatever? No, but anybody and he's a pretty legit athlete. And he
yeah.
spars all the time, real people. Like I do know real amateurs who go out and spar them. Like his team pays people very real money. Like he's legit. Like I don't, again, I hope. Look, all respect to Jake Paul. I hope Mike Tyson wins. Just out of legacy
Our
alone.
childhood, right?
If he catches Jake with something wrong, can he hurt him for sure? Can he knock him out for sure? What's in the contract? I don't know, but yeah, if you're asking me my honest opinion, yeah, I think Jake Paul's gonna win. I
Wow.
know.
Oh, that just makes me feel concerned, man. I'm scared now, bro. Because
I
oh,
know, dude. It's just, man, it's just time. I don't know what the testing protocols are. That's different too. But like, I've seen Tyson's training videos, and like, I don't know, and you know,
you don't think he looks pretty legit when he's moving and stuff?
uh,
Like he still
I
got
think
speed to him.
he's still got it, but I think that if it doesn't end in the first few rounds, then he's gonna get really tired. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah.
I hope,
You could say that from him historically too, right? I mean,
I hope I'm
his
wrong.
fights ended.
For sure, they ended. He might just knock Jake Paul out in a round. I'll be like, awesome.
Dude, that would be again. I don't hate the guy, but that shit would make me ecstatic to see that. Just to let him know, like, hey, you know, respect, bro.
For
You know,
sure. Not even an anti-Jake Paul thing, just the pro
no,
type. I just love Mike Tyson. I would love
yeah,
nothing than for him to win this fight. And I believe he can? Of course. Am I a boxing expert? No. I have done it. I did win Golden Gloves at 18. I'm pretty
wow,
good at
nice.
it. I do it every day. I genuinely believe he's going to get really tired. I mean, dude, the guy's 60 plus years old. Like, that is hard. That is hard, hard, hard. Fighting I don't know what Jake is, like 28,
Yeah,
prime of his life, seven
yeah.
years, all the confidence in the world other than losing to that one kid. Yeah, no, man, I don't know. I got a bad feeling.
Oh gosh,
I
you
got a
worry
bad
me, man. You worry me, Plasse. Plasse, you're concerning me, dude. You're getting me concerned here. Oh shit.
We'll
Oh
switch the
man, that's
topic. Sorry, let's
yeah,
switch
yeah, yeah. Now I gotta take Pro, man. I gotta double up today. Dude, tell me about the film you directed. Like what's it about? Because I didn't see what it's about in the details. Like what's your film about? And it's interesting how actors are also doing a lot of films too, like making their own films. I've noticed you're the second person I speak to today that directed their own film, you know?
Oh, you're talking about Ride. I did not direct Ride. I didn't
Oh,
direct Ride.
okay, okay. I
I
misread.
did produce. That's okay. Yeah, no, I produced and wrote it. So that's probably what you're
Oh,
talking about.
that's not the same thing then. Okay, okay.
I
My
know.
terminology is off, but it's your movie, right? Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
you wrote it. Like, okay, so that's
Wrote
what I
it.
meant. So I'm
Yeah,
I'm my terminology is off. You
that's
wrote the
okay.
film, right? You wrote it.
I
Okay.
did.
All right.
Wrote
So
it
yeah.
and produced it with one of my best friends, Jake Allen. He directed it.
Okay.
And he's been a writing part of mine for a while. Dude, it's great, man. Trailer's out live on my Instagram right now. It's live everywhere. In fact, you go to YouTube. It's called Ride, and man, we're proud of it. We're really proud of it. It's essentially small town family in Stephenville, Texas. Stephenville is the cowboy capital of the world, and
Mm,
it's about rodeo, kind of the gritty underbelly of rodeo. It's about a family whose daughter gets diagnosed with cancer, and they can't afford the oncology bills and all the medical just horridness that comes with that life. And there's kind of a black sheep son who's been in and out of prison for drugs, which is played by Jake. And they end up going to this guy because, unfortunately, through the life he's lived, he's got some connects. His connects are kind of shady dudes, and long story short, he and the father, kind of patriarch of the family, end up having to rob some of these shady people. and it goes wrong, something happens, and the wife of the family is the town sheriff. So she gets assigned to the case that her husband and her son have committed, not knowing what
Oof.
they've done. It's pretty awesome, man. All in the world of rodeo in South Texas, and all with the hope of saving their daughter. So when the rubber meets the road, and the wife, I won't ruin the movie.
Nah, no, no, don't
You
spoil
get
it.
where
Don't spoil it for
you get where
everybody.
we're going. It's cool, man. Go on my if you go on my Instagram, the trailer is like the first video you'll see. So it's up there. It's live. We're actually I'm going to Dallas, Texas tomorrow night. I'll be there for the weekend for the Dallas Film Festival, which will be the world premiere of the film. So we're excited.
Nice. Wow, sounds like a good story. One of those heavy ones.
Yeah,
The cancer stories are
I know,
always heavy,
for
like
sure.
those will get you, you
They
know.
do. They do. My mom works in oncology in real life. So we had some ins to some of the sadder just insights and stuff that isn't talked about that needs to be talked about. So yeah, man, I'm really proud of the movie. We stand by it. We love it. For the budget that we had, I think we did a really good job. It's an indie film. We didn't have a
Mhm.
great amount of money, but we also had some, and it's doing really well. I think it's going to take people by surprise.
Very cool. What prompted you to write about that particular topic, the rodeo and cancer? Like, what gets you in that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I had a little bit of insight, like I was saying, from my mom's life in oncology, but in terms
Mhm.
of rodeo, my writing partner at the time, Jake, he's actually from Texas too.
Okay.
And so he had a little bit of experience in that entire world. And we actually originally made it a pilot. It was a pilot
Oh.
story that we wanted to basically make into a series about rodeo and football and this family down in Texas. And ultimately, it is actually pretty good. We ended up optioning the pilot to a company. COVID hit. Their 18-month option that
Mm.
they had we rescinded, so we took it back and ended up like, no, dude, let's just go make this ourselves. So we had a passion for it, ended up making it ourselves. But ultimately, the kind of impetus behind the project was kind of, as you were just saying, literally just his love for rodeo, what I had been going through, and certain things in my life, seeing people with cancer, knowing what my mom did, and we were like, man, that's kind of interesting. Like, what if, because we wanted to write something, he and I together, about the rodeo, and then all of these things were happening in my life that I just felt really compelled to write about. So we were like, can we blend these somehow? Like, what does this look like? And how does this make any sense? And ultimately, we just crafted a story about the two of them.
Heavy, man.
Thanks.
I'm definitely gonna check it out. Like,
Please do. Please
you know,
do.
I
Yeah.
have a couple films to watch that I've had people on. They're doing once they're released. I'm gonna
Yes.
definitely watch them because sounds interesting. You know,
Please do, man. I appreciate that very much.
yeah. Damn, I had a whole bunch of film I made when I was a kid, but I don't know that they do well. They were
It's
they were
good.
home videos and stuff that
It's hard. It's hard to get people to care these days. That's
yeah.
my biggest battle in the industry. It's just like it's just hard to get people to care. There's so many masterpieces out there, man, and just like nobody will ever see them. Kind of like we said
Right.
earlier, the inundation of content, just how much is out there. I'll see films by some obscure filmmaker in, whatever, Serbia. And I'm like, dude, that was the
Yeah.
best movie I've ever seen. 10 years ago, this would be an Oscar qualifying movie. Like, this was
Mm.
incredible.
And they
And
made
then,
it with a
oh,
phone or whatever,
right,
right?
right. And
You
nobody
know?
knows. No one in the whole world will ever know about it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And that's the same for performers. I have friends who admittedly are way better actors than I am. I watch them work and I'm moved, I'm inspired. I'm like, how did you do that? Tell me. Never book, never work at all. It's
Mm.
crazy,
You
man.
think you think it's a simply time and place? You think it's a look thing, or what's the factor there?
All the above for sure.
Mm.
I mean, all the above. It's the great game, man. It's a great game of chess. You've got to have a lot of those guys lack work ethic, I'll admit. Like kind of like we going back to the beginning of the conversation, they may have all the
Mm.
art in the world, but if they aren't willing to get up and grind, they're not going to get the opportunities.
Mm.
So there's that element to it. There's also right time, right place. Some of these guys I'm talking about have gotten really close, have booked some things, and they just never went anywhere. It's man, it's just the great game is really the only answer I can give. It's such an unforgiving, horrible industry, to be honest with you. As beautiful as it is at
Mm.
times with extreme highs and extreme lows, it's brutal too. So there's really no one formula. There's no black and white answer. There's guys who are horrible, who are
Mm.
literally making millions of dollars right now, man. Terrible actors on shows. I've met a lot personally. You're like,
I won't
how?
ask you for names.
Yeah,
We're not gonna do that, you know. We have a
dude, it's
have a career to
crazy.
protect.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
But that's the truth, man. So I don't know. It's a good question. I truly don't know. It's some combination of all of it is the answer.
Probably connections too, who you know, right?
Yep.
Just like any other type of job, who you know, who's your friend, who's your cousin, that probably factors into it.
Huge,
Uh,
huge deal. Yeah,
yeah.
huge deal. Nepotism obviously is real in the industry. Like it's all a big thing. But you know, there's no one formula. There's no black and white path there.
Well, Bill Burr said in an interview, he said, be undeniable. Go out and crush so much, do the work where you're undeniable, and then you'll get your opportunities. Just be undeniable. That was his response. Because a lady said, do you think women can be funny? And Bill Burr's comedy is kind of, so he's like, listen, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Do what you do and be undeniable. Be
Yeah.
so good that the next person that comes up bombs.
Yep.
Like be that good, be undeniable. Hey,
He's right.
Peppa.
He's right. Yep. He's
Peppa's
absolutely right.
Peppa's my pup. Let me see if she comes over. I show her. She's a
Oh, I love it.
5-pound palm, bro. Come here, sweetie.
5 pound palm. I love it. I love it. Oh
She's looking
man.
at me. She's like, nah, you're not gonna
Not
pimp
today.
me out right now.
Not today, bud. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
no, she's a super, super sweet little. She looks like a seal right now because her ears are kind of back. It's pretty funny, you
I
know.
love dogs, dude. Huge heart for dogs. They're the best. They're just the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, I was like, I made a video, I think yesterday or the day before, because I saw somebody talking about dog fighting.
Oh
And
God.
dude, the level of, well, I don't want to incriminate myself, but let's just say that I'm very much against that type of abuse of animals. Yeah, I don't want to say it, you got to be so careful now with anything you say, so, but I think you can infer, you know, what should
100%.
what should happen to people who hurt animals.
I'm with you, man. It's weird because sometimes I'm like, I feel more powerfully about that than I do about people. And then I have to check my own self. I'm like, why do I feel more strongly about this animal than people? Just maybe because they're defenseless or something. I don't
That's
know.
it. That's what it is. They can't talk. They can't
Yes.
tell you. They trust us. People at least have the knowledge to say that person looks kind of shady and try to get away. But the animal, she keeps running away. I got you. Got you. There she is.
Oh my God. Adorable. That's awesome. That's awesome. What's her name?
Peppa, like
Yeah,
Peppa the pig.
for sure. For sure. Oh
Giving me
man.
kisses. You see that?
Yes, dude. Oh my
Oh,
God. Great
oh,
dog right there.
oh,
Great dog.
she's a sweetheart, dude. I was gonna knock a dude over today because he almost stepped on her. So I kind of like got in his way and he caught himself before he crashed into me. But you're not gonna step on my dog. You know, you know what I'm saying? You're not stepping on my dog. I mean, it's as simple as that. You
Yeah.
know, this is like one area where I don't, you can hit me and I'll be like, hey man, what's that about, dude? What's the problem?
Yes.
Like I'll try to reason with you. Here,
Nah, it's my life. Yeah.
not, nope,
Oh,
not gonna. I was in the Bronx visiting my mom, and this this lady and this dude were walking, and they had like one of those like where you do shopping cart or whatever, like one of the outdoor ones that they bring and stuff, and it was coming right towards my dog, and my dog is kind of, she doesn't know better. Look at her, like,
yeah,
so she
yeah.
doesn't get out the way, but they keep coming towards her, and I'm like, these guys are not turning, so I cut their path and I grabbed the car and I pushed it back to them, and they're like, yo, what you doing, man? And I was like, not gonna let you hit my dog. Oh, we weren't gonna hit her. I was like, yeah, you were getting awfully close.
We're close.
We're not gonna take that chance. And they're looking at me and I'm like, so what's up? Like what, not trying to find no trouble, not looking for, especially out there, I just protecting my dog,
Love it.
And when
Love
they
it.
walked away, I was like, we should probably go upstairs now.
Probably leave, yeah.
Yeah. We
Dude's
might
got-
see a car zip by and
Yep.
we don't want to be here catching any, so
Yeah.
after that, I was like, yeah, let's get up here. Like, I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna let you hit my dog, but I'm not gonna stay out there as a willing target. You know what I mean? Like,
Agree. Got to get out, buddy. Dang, dang, dang. Well, she's
how comfy she is, just
licking,
flopping my arm.
licking
Just
the air, dude.
he's just chilling, man.
Mine's the same. He does the same. There, one of them hit it. This guy's just pulling right here.
He's napping again.
Oh
Hi,
yeah, man.
buddy.
Napper. He's a good napper. The other guy's the husky's hiding somewhere.
You have two?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I got a husky mix and he's a shepherd pit bull mix. I think this guy Teddy here.
Oh, wow.
They're
Okay.
awesome. They're awesome dogs. They're both great. Yeah, they're both really great.
No, these things, these guys are gonna get children.
They
You
are
know?
kids.
Like I said, you could hit me and I'll be like, what's going on? Let's talk about this. I'll try to reason with you. Like I won't resort to physicality, but not with my dog.
Yeah,
There's no forgiveness when it comes to my dog.
I'm
You
with
know?
you. Yeah, I'm with you, man. She's precious. Oh,
And like I don't understand the people who hurt animals, fight them or anything like that. I can't understand the mindset there, man.
I know. That's messed up, dude. I agree. It definitely takes, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
What kind of person could do that? You know what I mean? Like to see an animal, it just blows my mind. I've actually gone after people outside who were messing with animals. I don't know. One of these days I'm gonna get blasted, but I
Yeah.
can't allow people to mistreat animals. I saw
It'll
this
be worth it though. It'll
this
be
one
worth
lady
it.
was hitting the dog, and I came and I said, and she just jumped. I was like, "What are you doing?" Oh, he eats something from the floor. I said, "But why are you beating him like that? You're hitting him hard on the head. Like, what are you doing?" She got scared and she was like, I don't tell anybody, but I was like, I'm not recording you or anything. Just don't do that. There's better ways to handle it.
Right.
Don't hit the dog. And I almost got into a brawl with this dude because his kid was spinning the dog on a leash. Like like those rope, like he was spinning it in circles in by the dog's neck, you know? And I said, same thing. My initial reaction is, "Arr!" Like scream at them, like with, like that military drill instructor. "Arr!" And when
Yeah, for sure.
they jump and the father's like, "Yo, what the, I don't know,
Yep.
your kid's choking your dog out, man. Come on."
Yeah.
And he didn't much like me telling him to stop. And, I was like, "Hey man, it's whatever, dude. You're hurting the dog, man. Now
Yep.
you want me to call the cops? I mean, what's the deal here? And
Yep.
whatever you
Yep.
want, And he
Yeah.
walked away too.
He heard you. He heard you. He gets the
Come on.
picture.
Come on, man. I'm not trying to disrespect you or just it's an animal, man.
I do. Yeah.
Dude,
Great.
it's been a pleasure talking to you. I feel like I've kept you on a long time. I don't want to tie you up too long, but
No. It's great, man. It's been a pleasure, dude. I'm glad we both dog people too. Look at her just we'll do a follow-up soon enough. Or when I'm in New York, I'll come by and you guys show me around a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, man. We'll go to the Statue of Liberty and see if I don't have a panic attack. I went up there as a kid. Yeah, I went up as a kid, and I think, I've been in therapy, and through therapy and peeling the layers, she's like,
Yep.
that was probably your first real panic attack that you can
Man.
remember. Because I started having like proper panic attacks this year,
Sorry, brother.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you, man. It
That's
sucks.
terrible.
It sucks so bad. But
Hurt.
the Lexapros kept me kind of chill.
Okay.
It's
Good.
got me
Yeah.
super
No,
chill.
I've heard they're hard, man. Like panic attacks are underrated hard. So keep working through it, man,
Yeah, oh, it's like being hung off the edge of a building and let go and caught and let go and caught like perpetually. Like that fear that with no threat or reason. So it's such an irrational thing, but your
Yeah.
body is, so like I still get like eye twitches occasionally, like,
Yeah, core, man, for sure.
the eye will twitch or I don't know if you noticed the whole time I'm sitting here, my legs are moving. They're like,
No, well, I can't notice the legs, but I know what you
you know,
mean. I mean, though, for sure.
yeah,
God, man, get better, dude. I'll be praying over that for you, man.
I
Get that.
appreciate it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
Sure.
the Lexapro's been helpful, man. That helped a lot. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I imagine. I imagine. Fair enough. Fair enough. Dang, man. Okay. All right. Well, I will. I will really take you up on the New York offer. When I get out there, I'll hit you
Yeah,
up.
that's dope, man. Yeah, let everybody know your social media and how to connect with you, and
Yeah. Absolutely, man. It's all my name. I'm actually really only on Instagram. So if anyone wants to
okay.
get me on Instagram, I'll follow them back. Shoot me a message, man. Say it's from this podcast. Follow you guys back. Talk about life. It's just at Josh Plasse, and a lot of fun things going on right now. So hopefully they'll enjoy and make some new connections.
Cool, man. All right, dude, it's been
Yes,
a
sir.
pleasure. Yeah,
It's a
good to
pleasure,
meet
brother.
you.
Same to you, man. Till next time.
Yes, yes. Leah, take care. she's,
Have a good
she's,
one. Thank you.
she's kicking with us.
Yeah,
Kicking
I
with
know.
us.
She's a trooper. She's a trooper. All right, man. See you soon.
All right, take
Bye.
care, y'all. Be well.
You too.
You are listening to the NYC Talking podcast. www.nyctalking.com. Please like NYC Talking on Facebook. Please follow Angel R Talk on Twitter and Instagram. We are NYC Talking, the realest lifestyle blog ever. Thanks for listening.